Welcome back, Nintendo collectors. Alex here with another video. I hope you're well, guys. I'm feeling a lot better, thank you very much. And it's all because of you sending me all those lovely get well wishes in the last video. I really appreciate it. It did make me feel a lot better, actually. Even though, you know, I'm still not there. I mean, I'm still on antibiotics. Still feeling really lethargic all the time. I think it's probably because, you know, these things take a while, don't they? I mean, it's only been 3 weeks. So it's going to take another good 3 or 4 weeks, I think, till I'm back to normal. You know, even sitting here feels uncomfortable because I'm sort of cramped, squashing my tummy. But we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. We're back playing games. That's the most important thing. That's what you tuned in to hear about. What's been happening in the Nintendo arcade world? Well, I've been playing loads of games, and I've also been changing this room around a lot. I've been doing that a lot in the last year, actually, but what's made the big difference in here has actually been the red tent. Getting rid of that. I love the red tent, but it was such a big footprint. It dominated this whole room, and you really couldn't sit anywhere else except around the red tent. You know, and when you want to come down here and play some old retro games as well, it just didn't work. So it had to go, unfortunately. It's gone to a good home. It's gone to the arcade club. So if you're ever at the arcade club and you see the red tent there, you know where it's come from. It's come out of my old collection. So it's gone to a good place. Everyone can get to play it. But yeah, I'm really happy now with the space I've got here, which is what I'm going to show you in this video. I've still got 4 arcade machines in here. I've got my Donkey Kong Jr., my Sheriff, Donkey Kong, my Space Launcher. But the big difference here is the Space Launcher, actually I've turned around the other ways. It's coming off the wall slightly differently. Before it used to be behind me here, underneath the Bang Olufsen. Now that that's gone, that's moved over to where the red tent is. I've managed to fit in another storage unit for all my console games, which is great. I can now display all of those how I want to, which is brilliant. And I can now have the cocktail set up so I can play 2-player alternating, which is great. So I'm really enjoying the space, even though it's not 100% perfect, and that is because I sort of run out of money, really, because I bought a flat screen TV. I've mounted that on the wall, but that's just too small. I wish I'd bought a bigger one now, but of course, once you've opened the box up, you can't return it. I got it from Curry's. I'll never go back to Curry's again. I hate that place. But really could have done with a 42-inch on that wall. It's just too small. It's a 32-inch, and it does show. You know, and the modern games is a big part of this hobby for me. I love playing new games, so I want really a big screen on there to play them, because the CRTs are quite big and they kind of dominate, really. You know, I've got the SF1 TV there, and I've got the Bang Olufsen. They're quite big TVs, and they kind of look bigger than the flat screen, which looks kind of odd. I'll show you all that in a bit anyway. So yeah, I'm going to do a nice little tour of this games room. Also, I want to show you I built a nice summer house next door to here, which I plan to have as another arcade. I'm going to have the Peter Davis jukebox in there, which is going to be really cool. And I'm going to have mainly all jammer cabs in there. Maybe a pinball if I've got enough money, but that won't happen for a while. But I can pick up some cheap jammer cabs in there and have a nice little old arcade set up. A bit similar to the... Do you remember the old pub days in the 80s where, you know, as a kid you weren't allowed in the bar, you had to go out to the pub garden room, which they used to have normally a pool table in, and if you were lucky, a Space Invaders, a cocktail. So I want to give it that kind of feel, but obviously not damp. You know, it's going to be sealed, it's going to be warm, and it's going to be a nice cool place to hang out in. But it won't really be anything to do with Nintendo. It's going to have a kind of proper arcade pub feel about it, especially with the jukebox in there. So great for meats and barbecues. That's the plan. So I'll show you in there as well. But the main emphasis of this video is really just showing you my collection and an update. So stay tuned for that. But before we get onto that, as always, what have I been playing and what have I been picking up? Let's have a look. So I have been playing, I actually finished Kirby's Planet Robobot. Really enjoyed this game, guys. Such a brilliant game, such varied gameplay in it as well. From sort of side-scrolling shoot-'em-up levels to sort of Star Foxy style-y kind of shoot-'em-up 3D polygon levels as well. Loads of replay value. Go back and get the cubes to open up other levels. I've actually opened up sort of a Meta Knight sort of time trial sort of levels. Really, really cool. Loving the soundtrack. Brilliant game. Loved it. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, still playing this. I'm a bit stuck on level 6, end of level boss, rock hard polar bear, pain in the arse, but I'm determined to finish this. Great game. And I picked up on release Metroid Prime Federation Force, which I was really sceptical about. I'm a massive Metroid fan. And when they announced this at E3, I was like, God, what are they doing? Don't go down this route. Why don't you just release a proper Metroid game? But no, they get some third party to sort of skin their game with a Metroid theme. And I just thought, no. And it got a lot of stick in the media. A lot of people cussed it. And I think there was an actual petition against making this game, which is going a bit too far. I mean, that's just ridiculous. But I'll give it a go. I'll try it out. I played the demo. I actually enjoyed it. I thought, no, I'm going to buy this and actually give it a go, because I think there could be something at the end that ties in with the sort of Metroid storyline. And as it happens, this game is not bad. But it's just, it doesn't need the Metroid skin, that's all. It's actually a good game on its own. It holds up on its own without the Metroid skin. But the music's really cool, because I've been sitting there with my DS with the headphones on, really enjoying the music to the game. But don't go into this thinking this is like a game you can play on your own. This is really a sort of multiplayer game. You need to go online with other players, because a lot of the levels are puzzle solving, and you need other players to help you to get through those levels. You've got kind of like morph balls you have to shoot around and get into the allocated slots, which open up areas, new doors or whatever. Also big kind of end of level bosses you have to take down, which is a lot easier with other players. And it's just a lot more fun with other players. And all the levels so far I've done online and really enjoyed. So I'd give this a go, guys. At the moment, I haven't played enough of it to rate it, but at the moment I'd give it at least a 7 out of 10. So if you can pick this up cheap, guys, give it a go, man. It ain't that bad. It's pretty cool. So I've been playing lots of that. So they're the games I've been playing. A few pickups here, guys. Car boot pickup. I know you're going to laugh at this. Why the hell did you pick this up? This is a game I played a lot back in the day in the arcades. These were all the rage. Mad Dog McCree Gunslinger Pack. It's got 3 games in here. Mad Dog 2, Bounty Hunter, and Mad Dog McCree. I only picked this up for nostalgia reasons. I know it's a crap game, but I've got to play through it because I put loads of money into this in the arcade. Really enjoyed it back in the day. You know, and it was only, what, £1.50 at boot. It's in mint condition. Got to pick it up, and you can't leave it behind for that sort of money. Here we go. Rodea, the Sky Soldier. A broken game, I hear you say. Have you played it? Have you played the Wii version? Have you played the Wii U version? Are they different? I don't know. This is why I picked it up. Because I've been told they're 2 completely different games. I've played the 3DS. I've got the 3DS version, and I've played it, and it doesn't work very well, and that's only because the 3D in it is crap. Even when you turn it down, it just doesn't feel right. It is a broken game. But somewhere on here, there's got to be a game worth playing. So I've picked it up, 20 quid, CEX, sealed. Got to give it a go. Haven't played it yet though, guys. I will let you know what I think of it in the next coming videos. Another car boot pickup, the wonderful 101. I played this, I downloaded it actually onto my Wii, and this is a physical copy I picked up at the car boot, which I obviously had to have. I think I paid a £5 for it. These are the sort of games that I think are going to be worth a bit of money in the future. So grab them while you see them, while you can. I actually really enjoyed it. Thought it was really wacky, but a lot of fun. So if you haven't played it, check it out. It's not a bad game. Never finished though. Never got round to finish it. Must go back to it. Ninja Gaiden 3, man, I was a massive Ninja Gaiden fan back on the original Xbox. Do you remember that? Was it Ninja Gaiden Black? That first level, that first boss with the nunchaku. Oh man, that was so cool. What a rock hard game. But don't know anything about this Wii U release. I didn't even know it existed. I just thought, bloody hell, what's this? It was £8, CX, got to pick it up. But has it gone under the radar because it's really crap? It must be. Otherwise I would have known about it. So let me know, what is this game's like? It's Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge. It can't be that bad, surely. Or has it got some weird Wii pad mechanic that just destroys it? I don't know. Gonna give it a go though. Next up, Project Zero. You know I was after this. In the last video I was banging on about this. Well, this was in CEX. It's not the limited edition version, but excuse me, I still paid through the nose for this, 60 quid. But I thought, man, I've got to have it. I've been playing, I've played about an hour of it and it's freaky. It's proper eerie, proper scary. Especially in here on your own with the lights down. I don't know, man, I don't know if I can get through all of this on my own. It's too scary. No, but I am actually enjoying, looking forward to playing this. It's really cool. I love the way you can pick up the Wii pad and use it as a camera. Totally different gameplay mechanic I'm not used to, so I'm quite enjoying that actually. It's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm going to play some more of this in a week and I'll let you know what it's like, guys. Did any of you see the Nintendo Direct? Was that any good? I saw bits of it. I only picked up on a few things. I saw, was it Pikmin? That looked pretty cool. And what was the other one? Mario Maker. I'm not sure about Mario Maker on the 3DS though. I mean, I didn't play much of the Wii U version. I still like going back to the original, you know, Mario 3 and Super Mario World. Super Mario Maker, I don't know, it's just too much, you know, sensory overload. I just couldn't deal with it. I just like simple platformers, man, keep it simple. But I did quite like the look of, what was it, Tank Troopers. That looked pretty cool. Looked like Splatoon, but with tanks. Woolly World, not that bothered about. I wasn't that bothered about the Wii U version, to be honest with you. But it wasn't a bad Nintendo Direct. I just thought, you know, we were going to see a bit of the NX, something like that. I mean, they've only got 6 more months before supposedly it's going to get released, and we haven't seen or heard anything about the new NX. They've got to say something in the next month or two to build up some sort of interest, some sort of hype around it. Otherwise, it's going to be like, I can see them putting it back again. But anyway, that's their problem. Let's just hope they sort it out, because we love it, don't we? We love Nintendo. Anyway, without further ado, guys, I know you're dying to see the old games room, how it's set up. Let's show you around the games room and show you what changes I've made. Have a look at this. Right, here we are, guys. My new setup for my games room. First thing you might notice is the cocktail space launcher, which used to be in this corner, where I've now got a leather chair. That was a charity shop, 25 quid. Really pleased with this. This is actually a swivel chair, which I can move around. So I can swivel it around to play Space Launcher, or turn it back round to play on the big screen, which is behind me. So I'm really pleased where the cocktail is, because you can now play alternating 2 players, which is fantastic. This cocktail is one of the rarest cocktails I have. It is Space Launcher. This is the only known Space Launcher I've ever seen in the 8 years I've been collecting. I've never seen another Space Launcher, and it's in a generic Nintendo cabinet, but it does have the Space Launcher serial plate, and it does have Space Launcher ROM set, so it is original and it is extremely rare. So, and that's a cool game as well, guys. You might have seen this at Revival. And I just love the way I've turned it round now. I've got enough room so I can play 2-player alternating. I've got my amiibo above the cocktail. You've probably seen this before, which is really, really cool. I love the amiibo. This represents every single character in the Super Smash Bros. Lineup. I'm not interested in getting any other amiibo. I just want the Super Smash Bros. Lineup. That's all I was interested in. So I'm just waiting for Bayonetta now and Corrin, I think it is. And then that is complete. I've moved the neon Nintendo sign down to here. I don't always have it on because you do get quite a glare from that, and especially when you're playing Donkey Kong, it can interfere with the screen. But that, you know, I can turn it off whenever I want to. And in its place is obviously the new Nintendo Entertainment sign, which you'd find in a Japanese shop. This has come away from Japan. These are quite rare signs to get hold of, and they're authentic 80s Nintendo Entertainment signs. So, you know, I think the sign in here looks absolutely brilliant. I mean, it really just sets this room off. It just makes it so authentic, especially above Sheriff. So I'm really chuffed with that sign. It looks really cool. Above here, I mean, I've swapped this around loads of times, but I've got all my Super Nintendo games up here now. So I've got my American at the top there, you can see. Wild Guns up there, and I've got all my Jap ones underneath. I've got my Metroid Prime gunship. That's one of 750. That's extremely rare. I love Metroid, love the gunship, I had to have that. And behind that is my Stormlight that just gives a really cool effect on the gunship. On this side I've got all my consoles. It's a bit messy up there at the moment, but I do plan to have a few more consoles up there. I've got a Virtual Boy hopefully coming soon, that's going to go up there. And these two things here, they're for a future video. Can't wait to do a video on those. So turning my back on the arcades, you can now see how much of a change I've got on the other side. So basically, there's the chair I was on about earlier. I've got all of my console games in these two storage shelving units, and I love it because I've got enough space on there to display some box art as well. Here I've got my Hagani, Ninja Warriors and Pocket Rocky 2 on show, 3 of my favourite Super Nintendo games, some Zelda stuff there, all my American NTSC SNES games, which is around about 75-80, Famicom games, NES games, Wii U games, Wii games down the bottom, loose NES games, Nintendo GameCube games, my DS collection, which I absolutely adore. I love my DS and 3DS. Such a fantastic console. Some really good games on there. Just picking the odd one out. What have I got? Metal Slug 7. Contra 4. Brilliant game. You know, it's such a great system. What have I got here? Japanese Guilty Gear. And Soul Bubbles, what a fantastic game that is. Just love that console, really, really is cool. Up here I've got my Namco collection. I'm just missing one to complete that. A few Game & Watches there. I've got a little F-Zero collection going on here, love my F-Zero. This is my Raoul Parker figure from 1979. Which I bought back in the day. I've got loads of lead figures upstairs. I used to be into Dungeons and Dragons back in the day. That is actually the Cyclops from Sinbad, Eye of the Tiger, I think it was. Love that film. That's the Super Famicom box art collection book, the limited edition version. I've got all my Game Boy Advance games down here. I've got all my books, guides, Super Plays, more Wii games, big box Super Metroid, Super Play signed by Will Overton, good friend of mine done that for me at an event. Little Metroid collection there. Small little Virtual Boy collection, which is going to get bigger very soon. More Famicom games, Japanese Game Boy Advance games, soundtracks there in the corner, more Famicom games. On the side here I've got my Retro Gamer signed copy. This is the Retro Gamer I was in. This is called When Arcades Ruled the World. Little article on me in there. One of my favourite covers for Super Play, obviously, with Pocket Rocky 2, and a signed print by Oliver Frey, and that is the first cover of Crash magazine, which I've still got. So yeah, so scanning round, guys. I scan the top here, you can see, and then I've got some original flyers, original Sheriff flyer, original Sky Skipper flyer, and a bespoke Saturday Night Slam Martyrs piece of artwork. And then moving back here, you can see what I've done now. This is where the red tent used to be, so now in its place I've got a 32-inch Samsung LED, which I'm not happy with. As you can see, it needs to be bigger. It needs to be a lot bigger than that. It just doesn't suit, so I'll stick with it now, but next year I hope to get a much bigger screen. And maybe when the NX comes out, that'd be a nice thing to get. Got a sound bar there. I'm not quite sure about the shelf here. That's probably going to go. I've got the SF1 TV. Let's sit down. And underneath is a bit of a mess. And the reason is it's a mess is I'm not happy with the TV unit, the TV stand. That was just a cheap charity shop, 25 quid, just to house everything in for now, just to get it off the ground. But that's something I'm looking out for, something really special. To put the SF1 TV on all my console games. So it is a bit of a mess down there. This is the thing I was on about earlier, where it's not 100% perfect in here. I don't know, guy, I'm sounding really anal, but I am really anal about my collection. I love being down. It has to be perfect, and I'm not happy with that at all. So, but I'm going to buy my time and look for something really cool in the new year there. And I'm not quite sure what's going to happen with Bang & Olufsen. Again, that looks a little bit too much. A little bit too overbearing. I might just have the Samsung flat screen and the SF1 TV. That might be enough for all my gaming on, but I'll have to see how it works out. So yeah, that's it, guys. I mean, that is the room. It's a small room, but it suits my needs, my gaming needs. It's got everything here I want. But I do also have plans for another arcade. I've got a summer house, which I'll show you in a little while, which I'm planning to have some jammer cabs in, the jukebox in, which I got from the Peter Davis collection, so I can have some meat, some people over, barbecues, and we can have some fun in the arcade. Because this is not the sort of place I want people just walking in and out with their muddy boots on. You know, this is a real chill out zone that you come down and play some cool games in. And you know, the summer house will be for the arcade classics. So yeah, that's it, guys. That is the Nintendo Arcade. Let's go and have a look at the summer house then, shall we? Alright guys, this is the summer house I put up a couple of months ago, and this is going to be sort of another area for my arcade machines to be housed, and I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to fit at least 4 jammer cabs in here. That's the plan. So maybe a vertical, horizontal, or maybe a Neo Geo. And a jukebox here in the corner. I don't want anything really that special in here. It's just going to be a proper sort of jammer arcade room. That's the plan. I've never had that, so I'm really looking forward to having that in here. And I reckon probably I could fit maybe 4 or 5 along that back wall, and the jukebox here in the corner. So it's going to be a great place to hang out in the summer, even in the winter actually. It's absolutely fantastic. So yeah, this is the summer house. I'm really looking forward to this. So obviously loads of stuff to get on with here. Got to paint the inside, maybe put some artwork up. Get rid of this sofa, that's going. There you can see the old cocktails over there in the corner. So yeah, it's a nice little space to add on to what I've already got. And here you can see this is the Project Skyscraper cabinet. This is the one I picked up a couple of months ago. I'll be working on that ASAP. I've got to strip that down. The Popeye kit will be going, and I've got to strip that down, and I've got my good friend here who's going to spray it for me, so that's going to look brand spanking new when that's done. Got a few little chips on the edge here, but that'd be okay. I'll fill them out. Be good as gold when that's done. So that's it, guys. That's my other little space. So that's pretty much it, guys. I've obviously got the Sheriff trim line upstairs in the house. I've also got Space Firebird in the house, and I've also got, courtesy of Ian, 2 Nintendo Battle Sharks, which are absolutely huge machines, which I've yet to find a home for. I'm not sure what to do with them, guys. If anyone is interested in those, let me know. But they are very special and very niche, to say the least. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with them. That is where the hobby gets out of hand, and that is my tip for you guys. don't let it get out of hand. Just keep it under a lid, control it, because there's nothing worse than having a load of games you can't get to. It's okay, I know some collectors, good friends of mine, find these machines, they save them and they put them into storage. That's fine. If you can afford to do that, that's great. Me, I can't afford to do that. I like to have games that I'm going to play and have access to. I want to just come down here and go, oh, I feel like playing Alien vs Predator tonight on the Super Nintendo, you know, and just put it in the machine and away you go. And I like to have the space. Also like to have space to have, you know, at least 1 or 2 friends down here that can enjoy it with me. And that's what I've tried to achieve with this room. It's only a 12 by 8 room, and I've got 4 arcade machines in here. I've got 3 TVs, and I've got my whole Nintendo collection in here. So it can be done if you organise it properly, and it can be done quite cheaply as well. You don't have to spend loads of money, guys. So yeah, this is my collection basically. It's always evolving, it's always changing, but I do feel now that I have everything, all the special games that I like, all the games that I like to go back to, everything here gets played. The Donkey Kong Jr., which I haven't mentioned actually, those 3 arcade machines, they are the main sort of go-to in this room, is the arcades really. Sheriff being one of the first games ever played, and Donkey Kong, and Junior being one of my favourite games to play. So those will never go. Those are my favourite arcade machines of all time. So I really do feel now that in this room I've got everything I want. So that's it for this week, guys. But before I go, I just want to say my next video will be a game room tour, so look out for that. And I'll just leave you with a little short video of me not chatting, just of my collection basically, with a bit of music on top. So enjoy. See you in the next video, and again, thank you so much for all those get well wishes. I really appreciate it, and it has made me feel a lot better. Thanks very much, guys. See you on the next one.